Class 10 Geography, Chapter 4 Agriculture. This chapter has been divided into three parts. In the first video, we shall cover importance of agriculture, types of farming and the cropping patterns. In the second video, we will cover the major crops of India, and in the third video, we will cover the technological and institutional reforms in agriculture and the contribution of agriculture to the Indian economy. So agriculture has been a very important economic activity since the ancient times. Now let's see the importance of agriculture to India. First, 2/3 of India's population is engaged in agricultural activities. Second, agriculture produces most of the food that we consume. And in addition to the food, it also produces other materials which are useful for other industries such as food processing industry, etc. Fourth, some agricultural products like tea, coffee and spices are also exported. Over the years, the cultivation methods have changed significantly depending upon the physical environment, technological availability and the socio-cultural practices. For example, now we have combine harvesters and tractors which have made farming very faster and easier than it was in ancient times. So based on these differences in all these factors, we have three different types of farming. The first is primitive subsistence farming, in which we will study a type that is slash and burn agriculture. Second is intensive subsistence farming, and the third is commercial farming, and its subtype is plantations. First, let us study primitive subsistence farming. So primitive subsistence farming is practiced on small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe and digging sticks. It doesn't use any modern technology and it involves manual labor which is generally provided by the family members. And it depends entirely on the natural resources like natural fertility of soil, environmental conditions like the natural climate, and it does not have any technology to produce crops in a greenhouse, etc. And third, it depends on monsoon for irrigation. So no other technological irrigation services are available in primitive subsistence farming. So now let us study a very important type of primitive subsistence farming, that is slash and burn agriculture. So in slash and burn agriculture, the farmer first clears a patch of land and then cultivates it. Then when the soil fertility decreases, they burn that land and then they move to another patch of land and they clear the fresh patch of land for cultivation. Now the advantage of this type of cultivation, shifting cultivation, is that it allows the nature to replenish the fertility of soil through the natural processes and no artificial fertilizers are used. But it also has various disadvantages, such as it gives very low productivity, and second, it also leads to the deforestation or destruction of forests, as a lot of trees have to be cut when the farmer moves from one patch of land to other patch of land. So in slash and burn agriculture, the major crops produced are cereals and other food crops. And slash and burn agriculture is known by various names in various parts of the world. In India, it is known by the name of jhuming in the northeastern states, bewar or dahiya in Madhya Pradesh, podu or penda in Andhra Pradesh, and kumari in the Western Ghats. And in other parts of the world, in other countries also, it is known by different names such as milpa in Mexico or Central America, ladang in Indonesia, roca in Brazil, and masol in Africa. So now let us study the second type of farming, that is intensive subsistence farming. So the meaning of the word intensive is concentrated. So in this farming, it is practiced in the areas of very high population such as Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. Now in this farming, a lot of manual labor is used and it requires a high dose of biochemical inputs and irrigation. So in this method, a lot of chemical fertilizers and irrigation facilities, they are used. And its aim is to get maximum yield from limited land. So as in this farming, the land available is very limited So therefore, the farmers aim to get maximum output out of that limited available land with the help of all these modern methods. The third type of farming is commercial farming. The meaning of the word commercial is associated with business. So in this farming, it involves the cultivation of crops in huge quantity for selling in the market. So the main difference between subsistence and commercial farming is that in subsistence farming, the farmers produce crops for their own use, but in commercial farming, the crops are produced for commercial purposes like selling in the market. In this farming, a lot of modern technology such as HYV seeds, high yielding variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, they are used. Now let's study about a type of commercial farming, that is plantation. So in plantations, a single crop is grown on a very large area. And in India, plantations of tea are found in Assam and Bengal. Plantations of coffee are found in Karnataka, and plantations of sugarcane, banana, rubber, etc. they are also found. Now this brings us to the last topic of this video, which is cropping patterns or seasons in India. So in India, there are three cropping seasons: the rabi season, Kharif season and Zaid season. Now let us study about each of them in detail. First, rabi season. So in the rabi season, the crops are sown from October to December and they are harvested from April to June. And some of the rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. These crops are mainly grown in the north and northeastern parts of India like Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. And the winter monsoon, due to the western temperate cyclones, helps in the success of these crops. So the major driving force for these crops is the winter monsoon due to the western temperate cyclones. The Green Revolution in Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh also helped in the growth of these rabi crops. Second, Kharif season. So in the Kharif season, the crops are sown with the onset of monsoon in June and July and are harvested in September and October. Some of the Kharif crops are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, pulses, cotton, jute, groundnut and soybean. And they are mainly grown in Assam, West Bengal, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. Third, Zaid season. So it is a short season during summer months between Rabi and Kharif season. Some of the crops grown during this season are watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops. So in this season, the most of the crops grown are those which take a very little time to grow, as it is a very short season. So this is all for today. The PDF of the notes is available in the description box. Stay tuned for the second video.